we can bring together, our business and the Yale School of Medicine to come together and do further research into this area. And so with that, I want to thank everybody again for being here today, and I look forward to some of the clinicians and the researchers to be able to describe the study that they're working on. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Clearly, as I said earlier, and the Commissioner reiterated, an incredible program managed incredibly by the department and the Commissioner and her team. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule and getting ready for the next legislative session to be here. As you all know, we have a great partner in this announcement today, the Yale School of Medicine, and probably as important, our team here at CTPharma has worked very diligently to get us to this point. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Sinha. She can talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to welcome all of you to the Yale University School of Medicine, to this room, Beaumont Room. We are really proud and thrilled to be partnering with Connecticut Pharma, as well as with the Department of Consumer Protection and the state, with their oversight and really their prescience in thinking about research and thinking about science. There's obviously a big movement going on across the country to assess and think about how medical marijuana products could be useful to alleviate patient symptoms. And that's where we started. We wanted to see if we can understand it better. How does it work? Who does it work for? And what doses do you need? Can we learn more about it? Which symptoms can be alleviated? And is there a need for refinement? There are so many questions. And we have to acknowledge that I think the state of Connecticut was very proactive and thoughtful about this, to include that within what the legislature passed, that there should be research that is ongoing. We know from our colleagues at other campuses across the country that that is not necessarily the case in other states. So we're thrilled to partner with Connecticut Pharma to do this. We had it's been quite a journey in terms of managing the regulatory pieces of all of this, from the FDA, the DEA, and of course we've been very glad to have the support of DCP. I want to thank my team at the Yale Stress Center, Dr. Hermes, who's right there, our study physician, Dr. Milevovich, who's back there, Dr. Martinez-Kagi, Dr. Wem, our team of folks who are going to be actually testing individuals who we are going to be enrolling into the study. We're going to start small, start right at the ground, and then build it up. We're going to be looking at stress and pain, because pain is very much at the heart of a number of the illnesses that medical marijuana has been approved for by the state. And so we're going after patient-related symptoms. I'm happy to answer more questions, but again, welcome, and we're proud to get started. Finally, it has been 2 years, 2.5 years.
Thank you, Dr. Sinha. She makes it sound like it just happened. There's been a lot of work in the background, as she mentioned, with a lot of different agencies, not only here with our state agency, but also with the fellow agency to make it happen. And we at CTPharma and our team can't be any more happier to work with Dr. Sinha and her team, and clearly the Yale Medical Center. I also want to introduce one of our patients, I guess, someone who uses our product. She's here visiting. Also, I thought it was important to be here, Corey, Alicia, and her husband, Will. I don't know if you want to say a few words. Or sure, okay. You come up here.
Yeah.
You come up here. Sure,
Hi
absolutely.
guys, I'm Corey Alisea, and
You come up to the microphone. So they can hear. No problem.
sorry, my apologies.
No, not a problem.
My name is Corey Alisea, and I have been using medical marijuana since I was diagnosed with GBM, which is glioblastoma stage 4, of December of 2014. And it helps me with every physical ability that I have with talking and doing everything. My right side was completely numb after having my seizures and my surgeries from the craniotomies, and this medicine has made it so I am able to live my daily life. Being able just to sit here and talk with you was not an option prior to using this medicine. The pain being comfortable in large settings like this, it just eliminates everything for me from having disabilities. And do you have anything else to say, Will, regarding
No, just
the effects?
if I could just say, in regards to what I feel it's been a blessing being, not only do I want to applaud Corey being 5 years since diagnosis with this brain cancer, but being a father, husband, seeing that Corey's able to go and just be mom, be herself. It's amazing when you look and from the onset to where we are today, how it just makes you be at peace and just be happy and enjoy what a blessing life is. So I want to reiterate, CTPharma from the onset
Absolutely.
has been wonderful. Nick Tamburino with Blue Point Wellness, the whole team. I want to thank Ms. Siegel,
Yes,
everybody,
absolutely. All of you guys.
Reno, and just express how we're very pleased to see where this is going. And
And it's exciting to see all the progress that all of your team and everybody is making. And I just hope to help others and to continue moving forward and hopefully finding an end to all of this and just everybody being happy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. Well, I mean, what other message can we send out there? And that's really the messaging that we want, and hopefully comes out of this study to be able to help more and more people understand exactly what's there. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. I do want to conclude by reinforcing one important point in today's announcement. Right now, a company in England, the other side of the pond, has the only FDA-approved plant-based medical marijuana product in our market, a company overseas. That really shouldn't be the case with respect to American companies and how the FDA can approve medical marijuana products soon. And we believe that will be the case starting off with what's going on here with CTPharma and Yale Medical School. The research that you were talking about today will prove that CTPharma, along with Yale, has the ability to use plant-based cannabinoid formulations and to prove their safety standards in the FDA study, which is what the phase 1 piece right here in America, right here in Connecticut, which is very important. There is significant biotechnical interest in research related to medical marijuana, and I believe that significant biotech industry will grow right here in Connecticut because of this type of study that is going on. So we at CTPharma hope to see a big share of that biotechnical industry right here in Connecticut, along with the economic growth and jobs that come. So again, thank you all for taking the time out of your Friday morning to be here. We can take some Q&A. For those of you who know me, I used to tell people, if you're going to ask questions of me, you're going to have to put them in a true or false format. But seriously, we're all up here to answer any questions that the media or any of you may have of what we're doing at CTPharma, what the program is going to be going on with Yale. So if there are any questions, please feel free to ask them. Wow, it's like when I speak to my kids. Yes, sir.
Did Dr. Sinha talk about her prior research and how it led up to this point?
Sure. So my work has been at the intersection of stress and trauma and addiction and chronic illnesses. And we've been looking at mechanisms, both developing new treatments for these types of symptoms and for addiction-specific addictive disorders, as well as understanding how these drugs are acting in the body. So it's a nice extension for us. We want to understand the positives and the negatives. We want to understand where we can capture therapeutic potential and to translate that into treatments and into preventions. So we're really glad to get to this point with this class of products.
How is it that you're gonna find these people to take part in the study, and is there some type of like monetary compensation involved in that?
Yes, we enroll people, we put advertisements out for those volunteers who would like to participate in research, contribute to science. We've done that for all of our different studies. And we do compensate people for their time, because research takes time, and people take time from their busy life to contribute in that way. And so we do compensate them for their investment in time.
Are you hoping that with this study that the stigma over cannabis and marijuana changes as we learn more about this particular drug and its benefits?
Well, my hope is that the science will help with that. Absolutely. We've had that journey with addiction, for example. There are lots of illnesses in our chronic illnesses that are stigmatized, and it really hinders folks who are afflicted by it to get treatment early and to start thinking about prevention. And so hopefully it will do that.
Is it your understanding this is the first, it's obviously the first of its kind in Connecticut, or other states doing similar work with universities and studies? No.
There is, researchers and scientists are trying very hard to get into the science space, because they see the need to do the discoveries, to get to answers around what works and how it works. And there are different challenges. I mean, we can get into a little bit more of the detail. How do you get product is one big challenge. The federal government does have its own farm that you can apply for to get smoked products, and now they've expanded. I think they're getting other products there. We were very interested in our studies. We were really interested in what people are using here. And that's why we did not even try to go the other route, because we felt like we're in Connecticut. This is already being marketed in Connecticut. We have the state law. And we want to understand what is being produced here, what is being used here, and how can we begin to bring science and discovery to that.
A couple things. What's the delivery method for this experimental medication? Is it like a capsule, a tablet? And realistically, how long could this take before you get clearance from the FDA?
So we have an FDA IND. So that is basically to do any research with human volunteers using any kind of product or drug. You do need a FDA investigator-initiated
But to bring it to market?
To bring it to market is a whole other process. I'm happy to let Tom Schultz and Reno talk about that. We will be using an oral tablet formulation, and again, I think CTPharma can talk a little bit more about that. This has been a very deliberate process to figure out which product to use and to test. The FDA requires us to specify which product, provide all background information and stability data and safety data for it, which we've been doing. So this has been quite a journey for us to get all of that approvals and everything in order to do that.
Real quick, if I may, Dr.
Please.
Sinha. Dr. Sinha kind of quickly glossed over why this is a very important study. It's product that comes here and produced at CTPharma, so we can control safety and quality consistently, not from an outside grower agency, which is what the federal government was doing some of their study. I think that's the real underlying component of what we're doing with CTPharma and the partnership with Yale. This is Connecticut product grown and produced at CTPharma, so we can control the safety and the quality and obviously the results from that. Reno, do you want to talk a little bit about the actual product, or?
Sure. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Reno Ferraris. So like Mike was saying, this is product that was, plants were grown here in Connecticut under the Connecticut program. The product was extracted and formulated into tablets. The tablets were tested by a Connecticut licensed testing laboratory. So it's all of the science, manufacturing, testing, and now the clinical trial are all contained here within the Connecticut program.
Thank you. Thank you.
approach these studies about pain and stress, just given all we know now about opioids and the fallout from that?
So your question was, how do we approach these studies?
Is it different given just what we've seen with opioids, where we thought we were treating one problem, maybe created another one, addiction?
Yeah, yeah.
If we approach these kind of studies differently now.
Well, we've certainly learned a lot from the opioid experience and opioid use disorders, and what therapeutic medicines in the opioid arena have done, and what they've led to. And that learning has been critical in thinking about how we approach this, absolutely. We've made some decisions, for example, in terms of doses and what we're going to be testing based on what we know about cannabis, as well as what we've learned from other products like the opioid space.
Say more about some of those decisions, like what specific questions or what things change, like with doses maybe?
Well, so thinking about opioids, for example, you have an opioid. Basic pharmacology about opioid is that you take some. We all know this. After a little while, as you take it, it works less well, right? There's tolerance. So tolerance is a very basic component of a number of these medications that are what we call are psychoactive. So addressing pain, addressing stress, addressing a number of other things physiologically, but they also have a psychological component. And so we have learned in that respect to figure out how to manage that particular component in thinking it through. And of course we don't know. That's the beauty about science and discovery, is that we're going to be looking to see whether the ones that we're going to test, how they affect these different components.
Any other questions? Well, thank you. We will all be hanging around for a bit. If you have any questions after and you want to chat with us, Corey will. I think you'll be available, and any one of us will be here. Thank you again to be here for this important announcement, and very much appreciate your time.